Shoppertrak is the global leader in retail analytics. We specialise in helping retailers improve traffic, average transaction size and conversion. And when it comes to location-based analytics, then a lot of retailers are dealing with a problem at the moment in that shoppers are smarter, they're using technology and they're researching products a lot more before visiting stores to make a purchase. And a lot more of those purchases are obviously coming online as well, as we know. But luckily, retailers have all of this technology available to themselves as well. So retailers are getting smarter at using technology to understand shopper behaviour, traffic trends, how to manipulate the shopper experience once they're in the store as well. Obviously, the main thing that sticks to mind is traffic. So retailers have been using traffic for a number of years to understand when the most traffic is likely to come into their store and to prepare their staffing levels and management structures accordingly. However, you can go a lot further than that now with the technologies that we have available. You can understand why people are coming to your store. You can understand the traffic outside the store. You can understand how long people are spending in certain zones within the store. Where do they visit first? Where do they visit second? What's their journey? And how do they engage with the environment around them? There's a number of different metrics that you can measure. The first one's traffic, which we've touched on. Then there's the flow or opportunity. That's the traffic that passes by outside the store. Then there's the draw rate. That's the percentage of the opportunity outside that comes into the store. That's a really useful KPI because it helps you contextualize the traffic coming in the store. We often hear, oh, it was just dead today, the weather was terrible, there was no traffic shopping on the street. Well, now you get a perspective on the traffic that's coming into your store versus the traffic that was actually outside. You've then got dwell time, how long do customers spend inside my store. You've got zonal dwell time, so in certain sections of the store, how long are customers spending there. You've got abandonment rate, what percentage of my traffic leaves the store within X amount of time of entering. And you've got also customer loyalty or return rate. That's what proportion of my traffic over any given period of time made one or more visits. Obviously, using traffic, then you can focus on improving your conversion. And if you can keep your conversion steady, then that usually means that you've got an even customer experience throughout the week, regardless of traffic levels. But you can go one step further now where you can change the environment around the store and around the customer so that you're really making decisions now about layout, about merchandising, about displays that are based on data, that are based on the customer behaviours rather than a perception of the customer's behaviours. So when we talk about improving the shopper experience, we're no longer talking about, do I have enough staff? We're talking about, okay, is the store optimized to what the customers are telling us through their actions? So I think that it's very important that with all this data available, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, and it's important to take a first step where you just look at the traffic and you focus on getting an even conversion experience throughout your store. This not only benefits the retailer because if you have a consistent conversion, then that means you've got a good customer experience and you're not necessarily missing out on sales opportunities, but it also helps you get used to working with traffic trends. So for example, if the traffic data helps you identify that between 5 and 6 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon is always going to be your busiest hour based on a historical period, then you would, for example, suspend breaks on that hour, you would make sure the management's there, and you would schedule extra labour staff, or at least you would build your schedules around those busier periods so that you give yourself the best opportunity to convert well where there's the most traffic opportunity. Once you're comfortable working with conversion and understanding traffic patterns, you can then start to say, well, what are the things that are affecting my conversion in the store? So you're essentially going a layer beyond just the traffic. You're actually saying, well, what's directly impacting conversion and customer behaviour in the store? That's where you could start asking questions about your abandonment rate, about your window display effectiveness. And I think it's very important as well, though, similarly to the point about traffic, is starting with the questions that you want answering. It's not very helpful to kind of just blindly look at all of this data. You want to try and identify specific questions or specific problems that you perceive to be within your retail stores, such as, do I have a problem with how long customers are spending in my store? Do a lot of my customers leave the store without having the opportunity to sell to them? And then focusing on the in-store experience. So that's where you can start manipulating things inside the store due to displays or merchandising, or even taking active steps to, for example, reduce abandonment rate by having better staff visibility at the entrance, introducing a greeter during the busiest times, that kind of thing. So we have a broad range of clients. We have over 1,000 retail clients globally who are using our data currently. And this can vary from a chocolatier Godiva using our traffic data to understand the effectiveness of their merchandising and window displays, to a jeweller such as Thomas Sabo wanting to understand the impact of their training and also optimizing their staffing based on traffic too. But there's a lot of other ways that our retailers are using the data, such as manipulating their store displays based on zonal dwell times, larger format stores wanting to understand traffic at a floor level basis and even a departmental basis. Another really good point to mention is that my role is helping all of these different retailers ask the right questions from the beginning. So understanding what their needs are and then helping them match the KPIs that are available to solving a certain problem. So we're very passionate about working with the retailers to do this. Another good example is that customers now are kind of researching whether they're going to make a purchase online very significantly before they actually enter the store. So you can actually use iBeacon technology, for example, to link that behavior from an app to the customer experience and actually visiting your store as well.